You're now listening to the Jca Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor. To the Jca Sports.
Welcome everybody to the Jca Sports Podcast. Alongside Eric Avila, my name is Jose Contreras. We welcome you to another exciting episode, second one of the week.
Yes, sir.
Podcast is here. Eric, what it do, baby?
Jose, what's going on, man? How are you today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. We have a great show for you guys today. We're going to get into some White Sox talk off the bat. That's right. If you didn't have enough baseball talk on Monday, we're going to get into some Ozzie Guillen comments that he had last night after the White Sox loss against the Guardians. We'll get into some of that. We're going to get to a lot of NFL today, Eric. A lot of NFL. We got the top 10 quarterback rankings that came via ESPN from all the players, executives, coaches, and all that. We're going to get into some top 10 QB talk. We're also going to talk about the Chicago Bears. Got a new wide receiver, one from the New England Patriots. So, we'll give you guys our thoughts on that, and of course, the weekly NFL division preview. We are going to go over the AFC South tonight. So we're in the AFC. We're in the AFC now, Eric. We're in the exciting conference, and we'll start with what I think is the least exciting conference, the AFC South.
You're absolutely right. Just literally the least exciting conference. What is there to be excited about, to be honest?
There's some excitement there, but the only reason why I say, the least exciting is because the other divisions in that conference is stacked. Yeah. Like every single team. So, we're going to make our ways to the best one eventually. But let's start out today's show with, as I mentioned in the beginning, some White Sox talk. And Ozzie Guillen, Eric, last night, after the White Sox lose to the Guardians, came out on their post-game live show and basically called basically called Tony La Russa Ricky Renteria with credentials. He was fired up, man. He was pretty mad about the loss, and I saw this live. Actually, I was watching it. I was flipping the TV and I saw this live, and I was like, wow. Finally, somebody's calling, this team out. You know what I mean? The White Sox, as we mentioned, they've had a disappointing season thus far. We had Tony on, John was on Monday, and we all gave our reasons as to why we think they've been disappointed. Injuries plays a huge factor, but one of the things that we said on Monday was, is Tony La Russa to blame? Is he just another Ricky Renteria? And it seems like Ozzie Guillen agrees, Eric. What do you think?
I don't know about another Ricky Renteria. I think, to be honest with you, man, I honestly do believe that Ricky probably did a better job with this team than what Tony is doing right now. Look, Tony got better players. Ricky did it with less players. Ricky did it with not that great of pitching staff. Ricky did it with not a great bullpen. The offense is still kind of the same, but they added a little bit more bats to it. And even though it was a small sample size, I think it was like 60 games, 60 some odd games, whatever amount of games that the MLB played at around that time, Ricky did it with less talent, and they look a lot more better. Last year, Tony La Russa came in, obviously they upgraded that in a half, and it feels like, this team was destined into the right direction, but now it just feels like Ozzie. You're right. Ozzy's just. I mean, not Ozzie. I'm sorry. Why do you keep saying Ozzie? Tony is just losing his touch. I think it's literally the lack of touch that he has, being away from the game for so long. I don't think it's Ricky Renteria with credentials. I think it's worse than Ricky Renteria with credentials. I think it's just, to me personally, I think Ricky was better fitted for this team than Tony ever was.
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference there for sure. I mean, there's a bunch of differences. Obviously, since Tony has taken over, the White Sox, as we mentioned, has been hit with the injury bug. Not just the first year of Tony's tenure, but even this year, his second year. Last night we heard that. We heard the post game live say that they wanted to see Tony, talk to his team, saying that what the level of play on the field is unacceptable. Isaac Ian came out and said that he wants Tony to be that guy, that tough guy. He basically called him soft. Basically called Tony La Russa soft last night. He also tried to get into a boxing. Was trying to get into a boxing match with a reporter. But Isaac Ian is very flamboyant. He can be very arrogant, but he's done what Tony La Russa is trying to do. He won a championship with the White Sox in 2005. Maybe calling him Ricky Renteria with credentials isn't a stretch. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's true. Maybe Tony La Russa isn't the manager for this team, Eric. I think this team needs a spark. When the Cubs started to get their team together, when 2015, when they grabbed Joe Maddon, they got him to take him to the next level. They did exactly that because his first year they went to the playoffs. They went to the wild card, beat the Pirates, beat the Cardinals, and then went all the way to the NLCS. The year after, made history and won the World Series. Tony La Russa was supposed to do that exact same thing with the Chicago White Sox. He was supposed to be that spark. He was supposed to be that driving force to get them to the next level. First year, first round exit. Okay, got it. You had an injury riddled season. Bring it back, run it back, and see what you can do again in a better year. No, same thing. Injury riddled season, and not just injuries, but the level of play is not up to par, and it seems like they're making mistakes left and right. That's a coaching issue.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. I think everything that you hit it on the head. I honestly, it just feels, it just feels like this team. And I said it before, and I'm saying it again. I think I'm just going to repeat myself. Tony was never the right fit. Tony was never the right fit. You mentioned the Cubs in 2015 when we made the move, firing Ricky Renteria, like getting Joe Maddon with that, right? But Joe Maddon fit that ball club simply because that team needed that leadership. But Joe Maddon wasn't 10 years removed from the game. Joe Maddon literally just left the Tampa Bay Rays and then came to Chicago. That's the only big difference here, right? Tony La Russa has been away from the game, from the dugout. I mean, he was still part of the game, but he went away from the dugout for the last 10 years. And that's the big difference right there. The game has changed. The adaptation to the players have changed. Like, this game has been completely different than the last time that he was wearing, the whole uniform to coach. So that's the biggest difference. I said it then, and I'll say it now, and I'll say it again right now today on July 13th. I said it once, and I'm saying it again. They should have gotten one of the cheaters. They should have gotten the dude from the Astros and Alex Cora.
Should have, could have, would have. They didn't. They grabbed Tony La Russa, who was a Hall of Fame manager, a manager who hasn't been in the league for almost 10 years. He has all the credentials. He has all the accolades, but it just seems like it's not getting done here with the Chicago White Sox. And as Eric does, get his technical difficulties in order, it's just me. You guys are seeing me, and that's nothing wrong with that. So you're listening to the Jca Sports Podcast. Thank you, Spotify, thank you for Spotify, and thank you for Anchor for forever sponsoring us. Anchor, guys, is the app. If you guys wanted to create your own podcast, that's the easiest way to create a podcast. You're able to download, edit, and upload all your files and podcasts onto Spotify and many different platforms. So make sure to download Anchor if you're looking to start your own podcast. So let's get into the next topic, which I was going to ask Eric. Between these two players on both teams, the Cubs and Sox, which one is the biggest loss? As you all know, Anthony Rizzo is now a New York Yankee, killing it over there. The man is on fire. The man is hitting dingers left and right. He is the reason why one of the reasons why they're called the Bronx Bombers at the moment, because Anthony Rizzo has been playing lights out. On the other end, the White Sox lost Carlos Rodon. Rodon, although had a great season last year, he's always been inconsistent, up and down, up and down. John said it. He was his least favorite pitcher on the team for so long. But last year he had a good year. Now that the White Sox didn't extend him, and he left, he's having an all-star season, and it shows. He's an all-star this season. He's been really great. A piece that the White Sox could be using at this moment. So my question for you, everybody who's watching on whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, basically how can I word this question? How about this? What is the biggest loss? Is it Rizzo? Is the Cubs losing Rizzo, or is it the White Sox losing Carlos Rodon? So we're bringing Eric back in as we speak. And Eric, as I was mentioning to everybody at home, we know what Anthony Rizzo is doing in New York. Nothing less than spectacular. We know that Carlos Rodon, after leaving the White Sox, is having an all-star caliber season. Which one is the bigger loss? Is it Rizzo, the Cubs losing Rizzo, or is it the White Sox losing Carlos Rodon? What do you think it is?
Definitely. Oh, I can't say definitely, right? And I think this is just me being biased. I think that both of them losing is a big thing, obviously, because of the pitching that the White Sox have been struggling with this year, starting pitching and even bullpen. Obviously, you could stretch out that bullpen if you add Carlos Rodon to it, right? And I know that's John's boy, even though he went to go see his no-hitter last year and all that. Rodon missing on the White Sox. That leadership in Rizzo, though, for the Cubs, I think that was everything. I think Rizzo was Mr. Cub through and through. I think he should have just finished his career here. He should have signed an extension here, even though they were playing bad. You got to give Rizzo just a little bit more credit, or like we're talking about Wilson Contreras today and Kyle Hendricks, we probably might have been talking about the same thing about Anthony Rizzo too. But if I would take my whole biasness out of this, I think Carlos Rodon losing, the White Sox losing Rodon is everything. Struggling with the pitching, the starting pitching, even from the beginning. You don't know what you get out of Kopech. Dylan Cease, as much as he's been starting very, very well, Dylan Cease kind of having that up and down season. He's the better pitcher out of everybody in that staff. But like everybody else after that, it's kind of like a question mark after. And even the bullpen, what was supposed to be the strength of this team, it isn't.
Yeah.
So, you bring down everybody down in order or two with Carlos Rodon in the rotation. It makes this pitching rotation not as bad.
I 100% agree with you that the White Sox losing Rodon is the biggest loss. And for the only reason I say that is because the White Sox between the two teams, I can't even talk today. Between the two teams, right? Between the two teams, the White Sox have more to lose. Before this season at least, they were considered title contenders.
Yep.
Because we kind of knew what it was. It was the writing on the wall. They traded away their core last season. They only had a few guys, key players this season. They weren't going to do anything. We all knew that. So the White Sox, as you mentioned, if they would have had Rodon right now, it would only solidify what should have been in a great rotation of pitchers. But we haven't really seen that. And Corey Parks agreed with us. He says White Sox losing Rodon without question. The pitching has been a struggle. Cease and Cueto seems to be the only ones putting in the work. And he also says it makes sense. It makes sense it makes no sense to keep Rizzo considering you traded everyone away for a rebuild. Cubs wouldn't be any better with Rizzo on the roster.
Even with Rizzo being on this roster, you still have a all-star first baseman. You know, you may not get the MVP numbers on him, but you still get one of the top 5, arguably maybe even the top 10 first baseman and of all of baseball in your squad. You definitely got the top catcher in the league with Wilson Contreras. You know, having a top 5 all-star caliber player in Anthony Rizzo at your first base. God, there too as well to solidify that. I mean, he may be 32, that's fine, but you know, baseball players kind of play into their late 40s too. You know, and with the DH, you know, you could DH them every once in a while until somebody else comes up. So, you know, as much as it doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, out of all 3 of them, I think I would rather keep Rizzo than Baez and Bryant.
100%. He was there at the beginning. Yeah, he was there in the beginning when they rebuilded to get to the 2016 championship. He should have retired a Cub. I hope he still does. It's still possible.
It's still possible.
I hope he does.
I miss Rizzo.
But yeah, Rizzo was everything to this team, and he should still be a Cub in my book. But CP, we appreciate you, boy. He always says Lynn clearly isn't ready yet, and Giolito is going back to old habits. Sox should really have a solid 4 or 5 starting staff, but it hasn't went that way at all. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. CP, we really, really appreciate you tuning in as you guys are all listening to the Jca Sports Podcast. And yeah, if you guys want more White Sox or Cubs talk or just baseball talk in general, make sure to listen to our Monday episode. We had John, we had Tony Anaya, and it was an hour of nonstop baseball. The guys are very, very knowledgeable, and we did our thing, man. We went to talking about, you know, the All-Star break, trade deadline, you know, for both teams, what should they do, what they shouldn't do, why the Cubs are who they are, why the Sox are who they are. Great discussion. So again, make sure to listen to all our podcasts, current, previous, past episodes on YouTube, on Facebook. You can get those lives 24/7 whenever you need it at a convenience. But yeah, let's get into the next topic, Eric. Let's get into some NFL all the way through, going forward, and let's talk about what the Bears did yesterday, getting a wide receiver from the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Yeah. Henry was, what's his first name? I can't say his first.
Keneal.
Okay, got it. Keneal Henry from the Chicago Bears is not. I mean, from the New England Patriots is now a Chicago Bear. Eric, why? Why is it this guy was a first round pick for the New England Patriots, and we all know what Bill Belichick is. Bill Belichick is a great talent evaluator. He's a great that development system that they have in New England. We know is top notch. Yeah. We've seen Tom Brady. We've seen Bill Belichick do it with no name wide receiver. I don't like saying no name wide receivers because they make it to the NFL. They're named. They're skilled, but they're not, I guess, just big named. If that makes sense. They're not top. They're not star wide receivers. At least not well known stars wide receivers. Yeah. But they do it well over there. Yeah. And yet, first round pick doesn't seem to work with Bill Belichick. What makes you think it's going to work here in Chicago?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, right? Thank you, CP. He says Keneal, guys.
Oh, he says Nkeel.
That's how you spell it.
Is it?
Yes, it's
Jesus.
Nkeel. I'm saying Nkeel.
Nkeel.
Oh my God. Anyways, we're not doing this.
I'm sorry. I'm bad with names.
Yeah, you really are. You misspell my name all the time, and it's on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, well, you know what? And you know what's funny? If you guys listen to the Sports Drip Live podcast, I'm always asking my brother how to say these Russian names, and because I just suck at it. But go ahead,
Harris, guys. It's N'Keal Harry. I say Harris. I don't know why I keep saying Harris. It's Harry. N'Keal Harry. You know what? It's crazy. You're right, because you like you just said, he's a first round draft pick, and the Bears only gave up a 7th round pick.
Yeah,
next year's draft. And it's we don't know. Apparently he led the league, or he was top in the league in blocking for run schemes. So that's good news for Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery in the backfield, right? And
even
Justin Fields too as well. Creating that running space. As a wide receiver, though, you look at his numbers. I mean, he didn't really get anything on there, even with Mac Jones. But CP hits it right in the head. Bill has struck out on talent lately. This is no different. Patriots fans were celebrating getting rid of Harry. So it's just like one of those reasons. Like, he was the top of the pecking order simply because he was the first round draft pick. And then the two guys behind him move up ahead of him. And he was just already upset that, he wasn't getting enough playing tick, or he wasn't getting enough tick on the field. So now he requested a trade, and the Bears found one. Maybe he could, probably strike, maybe it could work for us, coming in here with the talent. I mean, he was a first round draft pick for a reason, right? But to be honest with you, how much first round talent's making in the NFL? It's a hit and miss, especially if you draft them in the first round or in any round in the NFL, to be honest with you. But at this point, right now, I mean, we could get all the help that we need, right? I think I seen a post the other day. I'm not sure if I know it was via the Bears Twitter or Instagram. I'm not sure which one it was, but obviously it's all the same. But they named the list of the NFL of the wide receivers that the Bears got. I forgot that we even got Dante Pettis.
Yeah, we did.
Darnell Mooney. They put Harry on there. They put Pringle. They put Jones Jr. It was at least a good 8 wide receivers on that list, and it's just like wow, we stepped this low, huh? This is the wide receiving core for the Chicago Bears, huh? But at the end of the day,
Eric, this is your 11th winning team,
right? But what I was going for at the end of the day, though, as much as Ryan Poles has been making moves and getting people that like to get arrested during the offseason, at this point, I mean, you still kind of have to put your faith in these guys and them coaching and whatnot. I honestly do believe that the Bears, with Justin Fields and the progression that he's made, maybe the Bears might know a little something on this. I mean, look, first year is always rough, but I do believe that hopefully Harry can do something to help this offense for sure. It's a big dude. He's a big dude, 6'3", 6'4", something like that, 6'2", 6'3". So he's a big dude. He can help, at least in the end zone, if they use him the right way.
If they use him the right way, that's even if he wins a spot. Yes, the Bears gave up a 7th round pick, but we're barely going to get into training camp.
Yeah,
they have to drop down to what? How many? 69, 60,
something like that.
63 man roster. They have to get down to 63 by the end of training camp, right before the regular season. Who knows if he's even going to be on it? You mentioned it. There's 8. There's a good 8 wide receivers on that team. Does he even beat out obviously Darnell Mooney's number 1. He deserves to be number 1. He's a great player. And number 2 is up for grabs for anybody. So I mean, we'll see what he can do. I think there's a lot to say that if you can't make it with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots and the talent evaluators and the coaching staff over there, unless this regime and this coaching staff is just as great, if not greater, I don't know if it's going to work out here either. It's not like we have a better quarterback or better offensive line. The quarterback is still up for debate. So
here, let me give you the names of the wide receivers. You ready?
Yeah.
Nasimba Webster, and then not a particular order from number 1 to number 10 or 8, right? Nasimba Webster, Economimus St. Brown, right? That's the second wide receiver. Tajay Sharp, Kevin Shaw, Brian Pringle, Dante Pettis, Daz Newsome, David Moore, Darnell Mooney, Velus Jones Jr., and N'Keal Harris. Those are and Chris Fink. There you go. That rounds off the wide receiving core.
Other than Pringle, Velus Jones, and Darnell Mooney,
too. We have a Cutler in here, but it's Cutler.
Yeah,
that's the wide receiving core for this 11-win Bears team. That I think it's gonna be down to like 4 between Pringle, Velus Jones, Mooney, and maybe Harry, maybe somebody else. Maybe Daz Newsome. Who knows?
As we bring in our loyal fan guest, compadre, our partner CP. What is going on, man? Thank you for joining us. You can stay as long as you want because you see we're a man down here, so you're always
Y'all
invited.
always seem to be a man down. What's going on?
That's your boy.
Call him out, man. Call him out, CP.
I'm
That's
sick
your
of this
boy.
nonsense. I come on this show to see y'all three. It's called JCA, not J.
JA.
Jay,
It's the
J.
it's the
It's not
Jackass podcast, man.
that's your
Jackass.
boy, homie.
When it's just me and Eric. But CP, we're talking about the Bears and them grabbing. How do you say the name? How do you
Nikhil Harry.
Yo, Harry.
Nikhil Harry
Yeah,
is
Nikhil.
now a Chicago Bear. Does that make you? Does that get your blood flowing like it does Eric? 11 win team right here, CP.
10
If anything, I'll take a W off, to be honest.
Dude, facts.
Like, the Patriots fans were literally celebrating the departure of this man. And I'm like, I'm confused. And I watched some highlights. I had to, it was like a minute video of his highlights. Like, the video is like a minute, 10 seconds long. It's not that many highlights. And this is what, his third or fourth year? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yikes.
Like, how can you be excited for this? I mean, they gave up a 7th-round pick in, 2024, 2025? That's
Something
like
that. Yep.
Like, no, I don't think that moves the needle for Fields. I mean, if you want to give yourself some hope that maybe New England wasn't a good fit for him because, Mac Jones, the short passing. I've heard the scouting report on Nikhil Harry coming out of college was that, like, he's a 50-50 ball guy. Like, you throw it up in the air and he's going to bring it down. Obviously, that's not what the Patriots do. So I understand maybe that offense didn't fit him. So who knows? Justin Fields might have something with him and Mooney, but I don't feel like it changes much. Who knows? Maybe this will be a better fit.
It really says something when they go and get a guy like this, right? As you guys mentioned, one who's been in the league for 3 or 4 years, but really hasn't really been established at all as a good wide receiver. That says a lot about the wide receivers they have now on their team. That they had to give up a 7th-round pick for Nikhil Harry. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, more and more, I'm like I want to believe what Eric and there, because Eric's not the only alone. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people I've been reading on social media or hearing on the radio or just talking to on a day-to-day basis that believe this team is going to be a good team and win a lot of games. I want to get on that bandwagon because this is my team. I just can't see it.
That's cool. Even if you want to get on this bandwagon, you're not allowed because I'm kicking you right off, man. I'm the conductor on this, and I can tell who's can come on and come on. CP's cool. I get CP on it. You? Hell no. You lost it a long time ago. I'm still iffy on John.
Right now it's the insanity train. I'm just okay being, a little bit off right now, but
I'm all aboard. I'm all for it.
I'm gonna need Eric to give me some hope on why I should believe in them having a good season this year. Like, what do you see that we don't see?
I think first things first is a fresh start, right? I honestly believe whether Nagy would lost his touch with Mitch or Nagy never had it at all, I think we're having a coaching staff, a coach that. But
wasn't Nagy a fresh start? Wasn't Nagy a coach?
It was, and as much as I hate, I don't want to hate to say this, right? Because obviously the first season it was led by Vic Fangio and that defense that got us 12-4, that got us into the playoffs, and we lost that playoff in dramatic fashion. I don't want to talk about it, but that's another conversation for another day. Again, it's a fresh start. We're 12-4. We won the division. We went into the playoffs, something that we didn't have for a very long time. And then after that, once Fangio left and the defense was still kind of suspect, but still top 10 defense. Then we kind of magnetized everything after the whole playoffs, after this beauty of a run, that the offense wasn't working. Now, this time around, right, Nagy's not here. Nagy's not dueling, micromanaging, running the offense, being a coach, and probably even being a defense and probably a special team coordinator because he lost his mind some way, somehow. The one thing I like about what Eberflus said right away is that I'm the coach. My offensive coordinator is going to run. My offensive coordinator is going to call the plays, and my defense coordinator is going to call the plays. He's going to be strictly coach. So that's something new that we probably haven't seen since Lovey, I guess. and this is how far back I'm going because we forget those 3 years of what's his name.
Mark Trestman?
Oh my God,
It was a joke.
those years. Oh my
But,
goodness.
okay, so I agree with you in that aspect that both Nagy and Mark Trestman were the play callers. They wanted to take over the offense, but John Fox wasn't that guy. John Fox was a coach. He had Vanjo take care of the defense, and he had was it Gase take care of the offense.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, but and it didn't work out for them either, Eric. You know,
Remember.
did we win a championship?
No, it's not that.
Results,
But remember,
man,
John Fox,
results.
He cleaned up that locker room. He really did.
What about Mitch?
As much as there was no talent around, I will give you that 100%. There was no talent around. Ryan Pace didn't want him. What's his name? George McCaskey hired him, so they both had a working cahoots. And the moment that you found out that Ryan Pace drafted Mitchell Trubisky and not considered any, it was going to be a train wreck from the start. You know, they had Mike Glennon as the backup or as the starting quarterback, and you know how that happened, right? That bridge quarterback. He only lasted like 2.5 games, and I'm just being very rude. We kind of forgot we seen that, or like, all right, let this kid play, let him get some steak. You know, we didn't even see his process, nothing like that up until Matt Nagy, and then we started questioning afterwards if Mitchell Trubisky was the quarterback. They never got anything right. For the first time today, outside of the people that have been pulled over and got arrested over the offseason, the players that got every move that the Bears have made, from trading Khalil Mack to, you know, letting everybody clear salary and all that, the moves have been right in my eyes, other than probably getting more weapons for Justin Fields. And with that being said, look, he went from having 5 draft picks and he got 11. So he's been doing everything right. And the Bears so far have been doing everything right. A GM to the coach, they're all in sync. So this is why I'm a lot more hopeful than everybody else that's been on this podcast, you two included, John included, and everybody else who's been picking the Bears to only win like 2 games. And outside of that, they have a favorable schedule. They have the 5th easiest schedule in the NFL. There's more potential there for them to be a 9 to a double-digit win team than they are being a 3 or 4 win team.
But when you're so used to the disappointment, that easy schedule doesn't give you praise. Like, it shouldn't make you happy, considering Bears have been known to like drop weird games, like to the Lions or to a struggling Vikings team or something, like, but they'll do something crazy and beat like a superpower team. Bears have just been like this forever, like ever since I was little. Like,
I mean, even last year, the Steelers game, the Ravens game, the 49ers game, the games
all those were winnable games.
Right.
All winnable
games.
So what I'll give you, Eric, is the unknown, right? There is an unknown factor here because we don't know what Matt Eberflus is as a head coach. We don't know what Ryan Poles is as a GM and talent evaluator. We're going to find out as an offensive coordinator. Right. We're going to find out this year. We really are. We really don't know what Justin Fields is. But I believe in Justin Fields. I really, really believe in Justin Fields. Like, he's going to be a great quarterback.
I do too.
The only reason why I have a little like I'm not like I feel like I only have like one leg out. You know, I have like my full body in, but there's still like a leg out. It's only because of who drafted him and Ryan Pace. But I would say, you know, even there's common sense everywhere, right? And even Ryan Pace had common sense. He knew Justin Fields.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, but come on, we mentioned the likes of Mitchell Trubisky and Mike Glennon and Nick Foles. Those are all Andy Dalton. Those are all quarterbacks that Ryan Pace put in for us to cheer and root for, you know, and put in place for this team. So when I see him draft another quarterback, it's like, oof. I was happy he drafted Justin Fields. I just want to make sure Justin Fields is the right guy. You know what I mean? But I think I'm just more traumatized than anything. I'm traumatized for like my entire life, and this team just sucked. You know what I mean? So how can I not go based off that, right? But I do want to believe that this new regime can do it, because that's exactly what I did with the Pace and Nagy era. I believe they would be great. Same thing with the Trestman and Phil Emery. I believe they were going to be great. Let's be honest, we were all there, and here we are again. I just refuse to do it one more time. You know what I mean?
When was the last time you felt confident when a Bears quarterback was taking the field? When was the last time you truly felt confident?
Right.
Jay Cutler.
That was the last time you felt it, right?
Jay Cutler.
You felt
even then we were like, please don't throw an interception, or please don't throw it.
Even then, he did lead the league one year.
Right. So but yeah, it is what it is. Speaking of quarterbacks, it's a good segue. Speaking of quarterbacks, let me put this up on the screen. The league, we had our 2022 quarterback rankings. This image you see here is brought to you by ESPN. And this is the top 10 list right here. This is according to league executives, coaches, scouts, and players. Let's go. Let's run through the list. At number 10, we have Dak Prescott. Number 9, Deshaun Watson. 8, Russell Wilson. 7, Justin Herbert. 6, Matthew Stafford. At number 5, we had Joe Burrow. Number 4, Tom Brady, the GOAT. 3, Josh Allen. 2, Patty Mahomes. And number 1, that man, Aaron Rodgers. CP, let's get your reaction. To this top 10 list. Do you agree? And by the way, there's quarterbacks snubbed on this list, like maybe Lamar Jackson.
That was the first name I thought of.
Right? There's quarterbacks you don't see on this list. So do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Who would you take out? Who would you insert? What's your take?
Well, this looks like this is based on everything that happened last year, because obviously they got Joe Burrow in the top 5, and obviously he wasn't that last year. So I guess, but then again, how can you put Deshaun Watson at 9 and we haven't seen him play in 2 years?
Right, exactly.
Russell Wilson had a down year last year. I don't know if I would even put him there right now. I get Dak, I get Justin. Matthew Stafford deserves a little bit of respect. I would have Stafford top 5. That's just me. But no Lamar Jackson is shocking, even if he did have an injury-plagued year. I don't understand it.
if you had to redo the top 5, who would it be and why?
I'd probably leave it the same way, except I would put Stafford instead of Joe Burrow.
Okay. Eric, what's your take on this QB ranking?
This is weird. I mean, look, if we go based on pure talent, right? Pure talent,
off talent, yes.
No allegations whatsoever. Deshaun Watson would be on the other side of this bracket. He would probably be in the top 5 no matter what, fighting probably Tom Brady or Joe Burrow for that number 5 list, right? But that's beyond that. Look, we know what Deshaun Watson is and how talented he is and what he did for the Houston Texans, right? That's one. Second, I don't believe in Dak Prescott for some odd reason. Executive coaches, scouts, and players do, and I don't understand why. That's one thing. I if I'm not mistaken, I think Lamar Jackson has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott. Am I right?
Yes. Like one playoff win?
That's more than Dak, isn't it? Isn't that more than Dak?
I don't think so. I believe Dak has. No, he has one. He has just one too.
They're still tied. I still have more faith in Lamar Jackson and his running game and his throwing abilities than I do Dak Prescott for some odd reason. I don't understand why.
Oh yeah, I would take Prescott out and put Lamar there too.
Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Deshaun Watson. That's a tricky situation. If we get talent over wise, if we put talent evaluators here, I get why Deshaun Watson is on this list, right? Is he going to play though? That's a real question because it says 2022 QB rankings right here on this list. 2022 QB rankings. We don't know if in 2022 Deshaun Watson is going to play.
From what I've been seeing, it looks like he might just get the chance to play. He might not. The suspension might not be as long as we thought it would be.
Hey, CP, I'm telling you, he's only going to get suspended 2 games, and then he's going to play, bro.
It's
the NFL for you, man. This is the NFL.
Wild.
They will suspend you for smoking weed before they suspend you for touching a girl in our no places. Okay, it sucks for me to say that, but that's true. That's how the NFL is ran, bro. I'm sorry.
Unless you're gambling on NFL teams, CP.
Oh yeah, and betting on yourself. Apparently, don't be a Calvin Ridley.
Nope.
Right. Yeah.
outside of being that, look, I think Lamar Jackson should be on this list. Dak Prescott shouldn't be on this list. As much as Deshaun Watson and how I wanted the Bears to draft him, he shouldn't be on this list. They don't have. I was literally just talking about him, and I just completely forgot. Anyways, the last two quarterbacks should not be on this list.
Should Kyler Murray be on this list?
Hell no.
No, who do you put there? If you're taking 2 out, you got to put 2 in, Eric.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Call me crazy.
No Derek Carr love.
That's where I was gonna go. I would put Derek Carr over Kyler Murray for sure.
I would put Derek Carr over Prescott too.
The Carr over Prescott, Lamar.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I would put Carr over Prescott. I think they're even. I think they're both there at 10. I don't know if I would really put Prescott over.
Derek Carr has given you more with less.
That's true.
And that's
true.
Dak Prescott had everything handed to him.
Not even more though. But not even more. I think Derek Carr is giving you the exact same Dak has given you with less.
Prescott had when Zeke used to be a top 5 running back, and he had the best receiving core in the NFL, best offensive line. He's always had the best offensive line.
100%.
And he hasn't done anything with it. Meanwhile, Carr, he's been throwing to who? Hunter Renfrow the whole time, and Darren Waller. But that's about it. He hasn't really had weapons like that. Never had a running game.
But that's why I say he's done the exact same thing as Dak Prescott, because Prescott hasn't done anything either. So it's like they're both to me even. But I do think Carr could overtake that step and overtake Dak Prescott this year now that he has some weapons around him. But it's still yet to be seen. Eric, if you had to redo the top 5, who would you have and why?
Definitely would be Mahomes at 1. I will put Josh Allen at 2. I'll definitely put Brady at 3. Aaron Rodgers at 4. And I'll switch out Burrow for Matthew Stafford.
Oh my goodness.
Aaron Rodgers at 4.
Here we go.
Why?
Oh my goodness.
Huh?
He's thrown 15 interceptions in the last 4 seasons, Eric.
Tell him, TP.
That's cute. And then a lot of first-round exits.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about talent in the season. Everybody on this list has their issues with, come on, man.
Hey, you can't blame.
Brady,
right.
Everybody on this list isn't that well accomplished, to be honest.
You can't blame all the first-round losses on Aaron Rodgers. It's not a quarterback versus quarterback game. It's a team versus team game. Look, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play defense, Eric.
I will admit the past 2. Well, no,
Brady's the GOAT. Don't get twisted.
Aaron says he's the GOAT. And there's a lot of people saying that Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT.
Brady. Everybody knows Brady's. There's no discussion there.
Right.
Sure.
But last year, I'll give you that. He has struggled in the playoffs lately. Like the past few years, Aaron Rodgers has had his issues in the playoffs. He was horrible against the 49ers last year. I'm going to give you – but how many MVPs? He's a 4-time MVP. Back-to-back, Eric. We're talking about the season. Forget the playoffs. We're talking about the season. Back-to-back playoffs, and you got this man at 4. You got him behind Mahomes,
Allen, and Brady.
Yeah, I know. If you want to put him, no, I can't put him behind anybody. Not at this point in time. Until he somehow has a down year. He's been hot for 8-9 years. Forget the playoffs. You can't put that man at 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Even as a Bears fan.
Right. I think he stays number 1 100%. Number 2 is tricky for me because you can either go 2 ways. You either go with the youth and skill in Mahomes and Josh Allen, or you can go with Tom Brady with the experience, who's the game manager, who is going to be consistently there every single time. So I think they got the top 4 right. I would always go with youth only because, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes can do a little bit more skill-wise than Brady can. However, I do think that because of their youth, they can be a bit impulsive. They can be, a little bit immature in certain areas, certain aspects of the games where Brady will show you experience matters 100%. But I would take skill over that. And that's why I think the top 5 is or at least top 4 is good. I don't know about Joe Burrow being top 5. I think I agree with CP. I would put Matthew Stafford there. You know,
I said Matthew Stafford too.
yeah, okay, yeah. Both of you guys said Matthew Stafford. I think we all in agreement that he belongs in the top 5. He was always a good quarterback in Detroit. Now that we finally seen him his first year out of Detroit, it's not a coincidence. First year, it's not a coincidence this man wins a Super Bowl. That solidifies how great we've all been saying he was for a very, very, very long time.
I'm surprised you didn't put Justin Herbert in there. I was waiting for Justin Herbert to be
He's 6. He's 6. No. No, he's 7. He belongs to 7. He belongs to 7. I'll put Joe Burrow 6.
Good where he is.
Yeah, Joe Burrow 6.
I'll put Russell Wilson as 10 and then put the other 2 above him. Lamar and Derek Carr.
No way. I wouldn't put Derek Carr up above Russell Wilson just yet. Russell Wilson suffered from a really bad team last season.
Yeah, he had a really bad O-line last season. So I'm not going to
really bad
against him.
I think
he's not that quarterback, but
I think Seattle's going to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
He's right there. He's
most likely Seattle's going to be at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that shows when the fact that Russell Wilson's gone. But yeah, this is the top 10, guys. I agree. Lamar Jackson's been snubbed. I would take Deshaun Watson out because he hasn't done anything the last 2 years and put Lamar Jackson in there. And good comp by you two. Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, very good comparisons. Either one could be a top 10 for me. 100%.
I don't know about Dak, but all right. Well, like I said, if talent-wise, if anything happened with Deshaun Watson, if he was just cool, mellow, and everything stayed out of trouble, he'd definitely be on the other side.
No, he has a girlfriend, and like she ain't bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why he has to go and be a pervert everywhere else he goes, but it is what it is. Let's get into the NFL. Let's get into our weekly division preview, guys. This year we are covering the AFC South,
the most boring division in all of football.
Oh my God! You say that louder. Say what you.
Oh my goodness!
Say it with your chest.
Here we are, AFC South. You guys say it's the most boring division. I think there's a lot of potential here. We have the Tennessee Titans, who were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. AFC, by the way, which we all know is the toughest conference. They were still the number 1 seed, and with Derrick Henry out most of the season, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a horrific season with Urban Meyer. Now that he's gone, they're looking to turn things around with second-year quarterback. Why am I blanking on his name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, Trevor Lawrence. And then obviously the Colts now with Matt Ryan. A year after Jonathan Taylor's amazing season, and the Houston Texans obviously are just they're going to be bad. They're going to be bad this year. There's no.
They're going to be fighting for the Falcons for the number 1 pick.
No, they're not. No, they are not. They're going to be fighting for the Giants, not the Falcons. The Giants, the Seahawks, the Texans are literally the worst 3 teams in the league. 100%.
I think the Giants will be better.
The Giants will be a tad bit better
than the Texans, yeah, but they're gonna be fighting for the worst 3 teams at least.
They're definitely one of the worst 3 teams.
I think so. Okay, well here we go. Let's start. Let's speaking of the Texans. Let's start with the Houston Texans, as they have week 1, week 2, week 3 in my book are all losses against the Colts, Chargers, and Raiders. How many wins do you guys see here? I got
it the wrong way. The week 1 is against the Colts. Week 2 is against the Broncos. Week 3 is against the Bears.
I'm looking at it right. I'm looking at the wrong.
You are. You went straight up.
Either way, it's 3 losses back to back to back.
4 losses back to back to back.
Well, obviously, I was just talking about the first 3.
5. They're gonna go 0-5.
6, 7, 8.
I don't think they get a win until Jacksonville, and that's a if.
No, I don't think they get a win until New York. I think Jacksonville's going to be 100% better. We'll get into that when we get there. But I don't think they get a win until they get to New York, and that's an if.
Right. Look, they might even lose the bye week at week 6. I ain't gonna lie.
So where?
I see like 2-3 wins here, to be honest.
Where, bro? I only see 1.
Are they at Chicago or home to Chicago?
No, they're here.
I don't think that matters. The Bears are going to beat them.
They're here. Lovey comes back to Chicago, and I feel like they might play hard. They might play hard for him, but talent's going to overcome. If there's a game where that the Chicago Bears will have more talent than the other team, It's week 3 against the Texans, bro.
Yes,
That's 100%
100%.
fact.
Look, me and Harry do not agree with how many wins the Bears will have, but we do agree is that the Bears are going to beat the Houston Texans week 3. 100%. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I'm trying to find 2 wins. And if there's any 2 wins, there's any 3 wins.
I think they beat Washington and I think they beat Jacksonville once.
That's why I'm right with CP on this one. They split Jacksonville. And then the 2 games back to back where they face against the Giants and the Commanders, that could be a toss up to they could either lose one, win both, or lose both.
I think if they're gonna win 2, it's what you just mentioned. It's either the Giants and the Commanders, but I can see them easily losing both as well. I don't see them see them beating or splitting with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
You think they'll lose to them twice?
Yes.
And you know what? You're not wrong either, dude. You're really not, to be honest with you.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be a better team this season.
They are. I'm 100%. I'm on that boat too as well. I feel like the only thing that will make this division surprising is that team.
No, I think like we'll get into the schedule. I think if they have a favorable schedule, you know what? Let's get into it. I think I'm pretty sure they're the next team up.
You made it.
I'm 100% sure that yes, they are. Okay, cool. I can see this team being a playoff team if and only if the schedule, is in their favor.
You think Jacksonville will be a playoff team?
Yeah, I don't know about a playoff team.
I don't know about that. I'm looking at the schedule right now.
That's a stretch and a half.
Hold on.
That's 2 stretches and a half. That's a whole yoga workout.
Through their signings, because I'm trying to figure out what makes y'all think Jacksonville will be that much better this year.
Don't say y'all. Don't put me what this man just said.
You know what?
Be better.
How about this? I'll give them.
The AFC is loaded.
Look, I'll give them. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to be. You're right. They're not going to be a playoff team, but they're a 6-win team. The most a 6-win team here.
It's 17 games in the season, Jose.
I could see.
No, I just said they're not making the playoffs. I was wrong there. I jumped the gun. They're not making the playoffs, but they'll win 6 games at least.
Just like how you said the Jets are going to be a better team. That's a whole nother conversation.
They're a better team because of their quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is going to take the next step.
Yeah, I believe in Trevor. You're absolutely right.
He's going to be a top 10 quarterback next year. I guarantee it.
Look, the one thing that I know about the
Jacksonville
Jacksonville
prediction.
It's a prediction I'm sticking to.
The one thing about the Jacksonville Jaguars that I know for a fact that they're going to split their division. They're going to get 3 wins in their division. All the home games, I feel like they're going to win. Right, the Texans. They might even sweep the Texans. So they're going to get 4 wins out that automatically. Outside of that, I can see the Commanders and the Giants game. I don't know why we're not putting that much respect in them, but they don't deserve it anyways in the first place.
Who?
I feel like we should give Davis Mills a little bit more respect.
The Commanders and the Giants.
You're right. I'm not giving the Giants the respect, but I'll give the Commanders their respect. Coached by Ron Rivera, they always play hard for him. Always.
But isn't Carson Wentz their quarterback?
I was going to say Carson Wentz is their quarterback.
Carson Wentz isn't a bad quarterback. He's not really a bad quarterback.
He'll do his job, but he won't lead you to the promised land. I'll tell you that.
But they're better than the Giants.
6.
Are they really though?
6.
Yeah.
6 wins.
Their defense is the only thing keeping them up. Defense and running game.
So I got them beating the Texans twice, splitting between the Colts and the Titans, the Giants, the Commanders, and possibly 7 with the Lions. That's
okay, let me see.
All right, so Jacksonville with quarterback Trevor Lawrence. The running backs, they have James Robinson, Travis Etienne Jr., wide receivers Christian Kirk, Laviska Shenault, who a lot of people think is going to be really, really good this year. Marvin Jones Jr., who we know can ball.
Oh, wow.
Evan Ingram, Dan Arnold, that's your tight ends. They have a good.
Do they still have Terry McLaurin or no?
Who are you talking about? The Commanders?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Jaguars.
Oh, you're talking about Jaguars? That's their receiving core?
Yeah, that's the receiving core. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a little better than last year. I see 5 wins here.
With my
I can see 5, maybe 6 as well.
I got
sure.
7. 7 the most.
7 at most.
Least, 5.
7 the most.
5 the
Really?
least. 7
1,
the
2,
most.
3. Well, you gotta think about upsets happen all the time, so it wouldn't
Very
shock me
true.
if they pulled off 2 more.
You know
Very
what?
true.
Yeah, that Broncos one out in London. They've done it plenty of times. This is the
They can
Broncos
upset the Titans.
there.
They can beat the Titans once.
Huh?
I think they can beat the Titans once.
That's what I said. They're going to split between the Colts and the Titans. They're going to sweep the Texans. The Commanders and the Giants.
Didn't they keep the Colts out of the playoffs last year?
They did.
They did.
Yeah, you can't sleep on them.
7 wins tops. 7 wins tops.
Probably 7 wins. I'll give them 6 though.
That's a big step up. That's a big step up.
Right. They just won what 2-3 games last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll be. I think they'll be a way better coach this year than they were last year, and I think Trevor Lawrence takes that next step 100%.
Who's coaching them now?
Was it from the Eagles? What was his name? He won the
Peterson, Doug Peterson.
Yes, Peterson. Doug Peterson is their head coach. So
Got to be better than Urban Meyer. My God, he was
Doug Peterson's a great coach. So I can see them definitely.
So I could see Trevor Lawrence making that big leap under him.
Yeah. I mean, Wentz did. Wentz his first year before he got hurt, he was MVP. He was almost an MVP.
11-2.
Yeah,
when he went down.
Yep, Eagles were a really good team. So that's Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, I think we all agree that they're going to take a good step up. 7 wins, the most. I can see it, 100%. Let's get to the top 2 teams in this division. First off, the ones who won the division last season. I think we all can agree they took a step back, losing key guys, AJ Brown. Who was the other one wide receiver they had? Julio Jones. Derrick Henry should be healthy. They have Ryan Tannehill still, Malik Monk as their backup quarterback. Well, not Malik Willis, right? Malik Willis, I mean.
Malik Willis. You said Malik Monk.
I don't know why Malik Monk is always stuck in my head. Malik Willis.
Wrong sport.
Yeah, wrong sport. Malik Willis. But yeah.
I think they take a step back too, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too. I still think they're well coached. Last year they did it without Derrick Henry. Now this year they're going to have him back. He's going to be a workhorse. I don't know about a big step back, but
no, not a huge step back. I mean, they're still in a really bad division, but them and the Colts will be neck and neck. To be honest,
they're going to be.
Let's see.
7 wins is what I see the max out of the Titans. They're going to take a huge step back. This
1, 2.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with Eric. 7 wins, the most.
The most.
That is a huge step back, though.
Look, this schedule is by far the toughest, but yet at the same time, you got to give them a tad bit credit. Getting the NFC East. Look, to be honest with you, like Ryan Tannehill is still the quarterback. Even with that whole bunch of help that he had on that team last year and with Derrick Henry coming back, it still wasn't enough. They were the number 1 seed, and then they got bounced. First playoff game. I don't trust this team at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Throwing the ball is going to be hard for these guys because who are they throwing to?
Unless Malik Willis comes out and shows them something Tannehill can't.
I mean, I hope Willis takes a job. I'm tired of Tannehill.
Yeah, me too. My fantasy football insider, which should be your guys' fantasy football insider, trust me, there's nobody more dialed in than Paulina Martinez, who she agrees with you guys and with me as well, saying who do they have though? The guy replacing AJ Brown is Traylon Burks. He has health issues because he can't make it through practice. Also says Robert Woods is out.
Right, they have Robert Woods. I forgot about that.
He's still out due to injury. She said Akeem Hurts is their number 1. So Akeem Hicks. Sorry.
I'm not confident in their passing game. They're going to run into Derrick Henry like 40, 50 times a game.
And then, like, once they contain that, that's it. What else can you do?
Exactly.
Yeah, like you want if Ryan Tannehill beats you, the Titans deserve the win.
Definitely.
Okay.
If Tannehill beats you, yes, but if Derrick Henry beats you, then they deserve the win too, because Derrick Henry is a dog.
No. If Derrick Henry would do his thing, But
Right.
I'm talking about if Ryan Tannehill literally beats you, you deserve the win. Don't care what. That's the one guy. That's the one quarterback I'm staying clear of fantasy football this year is Ryan Tannehill. Even like I said, with a stack squad he had last year.
I stayed clear from him even last year. I didn't want him as
He won me a nice game. He won me 1 week.
He won me a few games last year.
Stafford was my quarterback all year. When he had his bye week, Tannehill won me another week. So, but I'm definitely not drafting him.
No, 100% not drafting.
That's a free agent wire thing. Like I'm not interested.
I maybe, the first 5 games I could see them going 2-3, right?
I was gonna say 3-2, but
2-3.
I was gonna say they lose to the Bills and the Colts.
I could see them losing those 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
You think they'll lose to the Raiders too?
Yeah.
Look, I said it time and time again, and I'll keep saying it. That way it's not a mistake. Anybody that faces the AFC West outside the AFC West are going to beat themselves up. Anybody else outside of them, the AFC West teams are beating them. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Chargers, they're all beating their outside conference. They are going to beat themselves up.
Tennessee, like, they wasn't just predicated on their running game last year. They had a good defense, and they still do.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
But when the defense is going to be there a lot longer than the offense, that defense is really not going to be. Tell the Chicago Bears a few years back after their playoff win.
Tell Chicago Bears their whole history. Their whole history.
It's just they have an elite defense, but being out there for too long, they get tired. They're all fat minus the linebackers and the secondary.
That's why you soak out the possession of time with Derrick Henry running it.
Even then, so.
Paulina says yes, they lose to the Raiders.
I think they beat the Raiders.
It could be an upset.
I don't think so.
I don't see the Titans dropping tremendously, but they are going to drop. I know I say 7 wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if they beat some of the upper echelon teams. You know what I mean?
I say 9
wins. I'm giving them too much credit.
No,
they're too well coached.
They're too well coached. They are. Their coach is legit, Eric. We can't.
I know that.
We can't say that over here in Chicago, but they can definitely say that in Tennessee. You know what I mean?
Can we stop making Chicago the measuring stick? we know how bad they are. Come on.
I gotta rub it in his face every chance I get. See, this guy has 11 wins. Okay. I'm trying to get it in his thick skull. It's not gonna happen.
Oh my goodness.
And let's move on to the next team. A team I believe is going to be. Damn, did I even put him in here?
The Colts, right?
Yeah, hold on. Technical difficulties. Let me bring this back up real quick. There they are. All right. The Indianapolis Colts, led by running back Jonathan Taylor, who had an amazing season last year. They bring in Matt Ryan, a wily veteran who once MVP of the season. We know what Matt Ryan can do when healthy. We know what Jonathan Taylor can now do. I believe wide receiver wise, losing T.Y. Hilton was a bad thing for them, but they do have some young talent for sure.
Oh yeah, Michael Pittman is a baller.
Yes,
don't sleep on him in fantasy.
100%. They have Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, who's a rookie, and DeMichael Harris as their wide receiving core, and Mo Alley Cox as their tight end. And hey, if Ryan Pace can't be healthy, they still have Nick Foles behind him.
Oh, great.
Matt Ryan. I mean, if Matt Ryan can't be healthy,
cannot get none of these things right today, man.
Yeah, I am. It's one of those days.
The Oakland Chargers. Jesus, man. Come on, man. Get it right, bro. Get it right.
I can't do it today, Eric.
You're supposed to be good at this.
Give him a break, okay?
Right. All right.
All right, so the Colts, to me, they're going to win this division.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, I believe they win it.
The Colts, to me, the AFC South is going to have that one playoff team that's going to have a below 500 record and have a playoff team in it.
Oh, no. I don't think Colts will have a below 500 record.
they'll be flirting with a 500 record.
They'll be flirting with it. They'll be. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because I know what they have on their team. Like they almost made the playoffs with Carson Wentz barely helping them at all.
Right. Look, the first two games, 1 out of 2 are favorable. Maybe both games are favorable, right? They're both on the road. That's the only thing I'm giving them. That Jacksonville game on the road, the second game of the season, maybe the only question mark where I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars will get. They'll come 1-1, and then they got two tough home games against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hot take. I think they start 4-0.
Huh?
This is a hot take. I think they start 4-0.
I would not be. No, I think they get that win at home against the Titans.
I think they found a way to beat the Chiefs.
I enjoy it. I love it. I love where you're going.
I could see it, CP. I could definitely see it 100%.
It's possible, but I could see them at worst 1-3, at best
4-0,
3-1.
At best 4-0. I don't see why not.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, look, the Chiefs are taking a step back, Eric. I'm sorry, they're taking a step back this year
In their division.
In the NFL period. They're going to take a step back. Now they're still going to be a playoff team 100%, but they're not. To me, they're not the favorite anymore in that division nor that conference.
Defense too suspect. Man, they lost Tyreek Hill, and that defense is still too suspect.
I agree with you.
They're going to realize how much Tyreek Hill meant to them this season.
When you don't got to worry about him getting behind you, now you can just focus on Kelsey and Valdez Scandalin and whoever else I think they take a step back.
I think but I'm glad you mentioned Valdez Scandalin. I think he takes a step forward.
Definitely.
Not Tyreek Hill forward, but he's going to be a good wide receiver for him for sure. And they also have Juju Smith-Schuster. Hopefully, he can revive his career.
I forgot about Juju.
They're going to be a decent team no matter what. For the first time, I feel like Patrick Mahomes can finally be that full potential quarterback instead of we know that most of the time, and we saw it in the Super Bowl, that they lost against the Bucs, and throughout his whole entire career that he's been an NFL starter, that Patrick Mahomes knows that Tyreek Hill is somewhere up there, and he just launches it.
Right. He doesn't have that on.
Finally, for the first time, we were going to see Patrick Mahomes trying to be a more complete quarterback all around.
Right. Going back to the Colts, though, I can see them 10 wins the most.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 10-7.
Yeah, 10 wins here.
9-8, 8-9.
I have it to
9 wins most.
6-2. Do you think they beat the Patriots? Do they beat the Patriots?
They're going to get a win with. They're going to get at least one win on the upper echelon teams like maybe the Chiefs, as you mentioned, or maybe the Patriots. I can see them maybe beating the Raiders or the Eagles. They're for sure beating the Steelers and the Cowboys in my book.
Same.
Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, I think they go 11-6. To be honest,
I can see that too. I honestly can see that too. I could.
Their schedule is pretty favorable towards the end.
Towards the end,
yes, I agree, and that's where they're going to get the bulk of their wins, right? Starting off with the Eagles to the Steelers to the Cowboys, the Vikings. That Chargers game is probably the only question mark.
Right, only question mark, and I believe they can win that one too. But to be honest, I believe they can win 6 of their last 7 games.
Yeah, no, that first half of their schedule.
I mean, it's a little rough with Kansas City, Tennessee, and New England, but I believe they can pick up at least. Oh, yeah, in Denver. And I don't think they win at Denver.
No, me either. I'm high. I noticed since we started doing this, I'm high on 2 teams, and that's the Broncos and the Eagles. Because every time, it doesn't matter what team we've done so far, every time I go to one of those 2 teams, I always chalk it up as a loss. I think the Broncos and the Eagles obviously take. I mean, the Broncos we know because of Russell Wilson. But I'm really high on the Eagles this year. I really am.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm more the Eagles than the Broncos, but definitely both over anybody else for sure.
As long as Jalen Hurts isn't throwing the ball more than 20 times, yeah, I'll believe in the Eagles.
Eagles over the Dolphins, though. I'll say that right now.
Man, I'm high on the Dolphins. So I like the Dolphins this year. I do like the Dolphins.
I don't like Tua.
I don't believe in Tua.
That's the only question mark. If Tua can get it done,
Right.
That team's going to be scary.
The team around them is scary. It's
Yes.
Tua. Tua's the only question mark.
Look,
Right.
that's our next one for next week. For
Yes.
the AFC East.
Yes, AFC East.
AFC East.
It's only going to get better from here on out, guys. AFC East is next. Then we'll do the AFC North, and of course the West is last.
Yeah, you got to say the best for last. AFC
Yeah,
West.
Wait, why don't we do the North first? Why do we,
You want to do the North next week? We don't do North next week.
We'll
North?
do the North next
All
week.
right, we'll do the North
North
next
is
week.
about as easy as they come to.
I thought there was way more storylines there with Deshaun Watson there in Cleveland, and then obviously, we all know you're gonna get riled up when it comes to Mitchell Trubisky and the
I think Johnny. I don't think Johnny Blasphemy will miss that show when
Right, that's
talk about Mitch and the Steelers.
what I'm saying.
How the Steelers going 13-4 because of Mitch.
Right, and then of course the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals.
I can see Johnny saying that too.
I can see him saying that.
I can
The
see
AFC North is going to be a tough division for anybody as well.
Mitchell Trubisky is going to lose his. You know what? Never mind. Forget it. I'll just say it next week. I ain't going to do that.
We'll do the AFC North next week. I think it'll be a great show. Today was a great show. Thank you everybody for watching. Even if you're watching the pre-recorded after this live episode, thank you for watching. Thank you, of course, Paulina Martinez, the great, beautiful Paulina. Thank you, CP. The GOAT coming on, stepping in. Yes, John. We all love John.
Dude,
honestly, I wouldn't have stepped in.
The man's working hard, so we can't fault him. He's working hard. So
the way y'all was pronouncing N'Keal Harry name was really bugging me. That's the reason I even hopped
That's
on,
him.
to be honest.
That's him. I kept saying Harris. He kept saying Keneal.
Yeah, he said that Keneal caught me off guard.
It's N'Keal, right?
It's N'Keal.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry.
That sounds better. I like N'Keal better than Keneal.
Real quick, if you guys haven't seen it, or if you guys haven't seen our post, we're going to be posting out for the next couple of weeks for
real.
sure. So that the fantasy football, the JCA Fantasy Football League is back and better than ever. It's easy to sign up for our fantasy football, guys. Make sure you put your name on the comments, either in our show or all our statuses. It doesn't really matter. And any of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, MySpace, tagged, all that. We're going to make sure you put your name under that comment section. We'll be put your name on the list. We'll let you know when we're going to do the draft, what day we're going to be picking out. We're going to be doing this for the next couple weeks up until the last day of register.
What's the date?
It's going to be good. The price is going to be great.
August 14th.
August 14th
is going to be the draft, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. The prices are the same. $100 gift card and a trophy. I'm still waiting on my trophy, John. Okay? I need it presented because I am the defending champ of the JCA Sports League.
I can't believe
you won last year?
I can't believe it either, CP. I can't believe it either. But yes, Eric won.
I won last year.
Last year we had 4 leagues, 10 each. So 40 people, and Eric came out on top.
Oh my goodness.
Out of 40.
Thank you, Justin Herbert. Thank you, Jamar Chase. And thank you, Hunter Renfro.
Oh, you deserve a trophy for that. A big ass trophy.
Oh, and I think I had Najee Harris as my running back, and that's about it.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
And I was ranked 4th in my league, so caught fire at the right time.
You did. They certainly did. So yeah, I mean, it should be a good year. We're expecting more than 40 this year, but we'll see. If we get it, even if we get to 40, that's perfect. So yeah. We got time. We got plenty of time.
We got time. Yeah, we'll post it on the JCA on the John Conavi Facebook page, but also personally on our personal Facebook page, Jose, John, and myself. So just sign up. Just put your name, and you're already on the list. And then we'll do the drawings on the JCA Sports Podcast live where we're all together, and we'll do the draft. We'll let you know what time and where and how to go on with that. Remember, gift card, $100, and a trophy. Trophy's nice, by the way.
It is really nice.
So I know CP, you in it, right?
Of course.
All right, cool. We'll put your name on the list. You put your name on it right now.
All right, sounds good. CP is in. Eric's in. I'm in. We all know.
We all know it. As for CP, thank you, John. Jose. I was about to say John. Jose, myself, Eric Avila. This is the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. Make sure you always like and share all of our shows here on Facebook Live, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Jose.
Yes, sir.
Get the outro, homie. See you guys.
What a finish! Wow, that is unfreaking believable. What a way for a ball game to end.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's terrible. My God. The humanity.
They may be the drunkest couple in the history of sporting events.
I loved his face.
I would suspect that fan is done for the night. Here's the thing. When you steal something, don't wear it.